What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. The book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. The link will be in the description box below. Bad black spending. Um, I've been chilling, just watching, observe, and I see some the spending habits, the unproductive spending habits of our people at an all time, not even gonna say an all time high, but just social media makes it more disturbing. Like, let's start with this prom stuff, right? I'm seeing way too much people spending ridiculously on prime. You don't need, like, these people are spending on prime, and I start thinking to myself, your kid ain't going to college because what you doing with this prime stuff reeks of this is their last hurrah from being grown. This is you're throwing them their quote unquote super prime. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're investing in is their last hurrah at being a child. They don't know it, but you know it. Because now they grown. So now they got this ridiculous gaudy outfit that most of them look more horrible than good. You know, you're renting um, just props that make no just they look crazy, but that's their moment, right? You're renting overly expensive cars and giving and putting them into the hands of teenagers for a couple of hours to say that they did this on their prime, and this is stuff that they won't be able, the 99.9% of them won't be able to do as an adult. So it's ridiculous. Like, can't rent a tux no more and buy a dress and get a nice car and go out on the town and have money in your pocket. But you got to blow it all to go live on Facebook or something, like or Instagram or Snapchat. That's to me that's just bad black spending. Like, you know, to the point where they had these little mini proms with the little kids and they got their miniature mini cars and it's like this is stupid. You know, thus you take that a little bit further for the kids who are going to college in and out of that bunch. How much of that prime could have been? How much could you have scaled back prime and invested in tuition? You know, because to me it just looks from afar like this is not a good idea. Like everybody ain't got it like that. So I'm not about to just say, oh, that's their moment. It's not their moment. You know, that's not a good moment to have if you're and I'm saying this as a person who went to prom. I ain't go to prom like that though. I ain't gonna lie. But from my experience, you have people who still hold on to their prime because prime might be the closest thing for you young ladies. Prime might be the closest thing to you ever having a wedding, so y'all go over the top. So some of y'all still have your unmarried and still have your prom pictures because that's the closest you got to a wedding gown. So it's crazy. Um, Same thing with the fellas, right? The spending. Like I was talking to my father once, and they had this cat who was a sneakerhead at his job, and the kid wanted to be something. Something I don't remember, something in the STEM field, and he was talking to my dad about his sneaker collection. And early, I think he's like 20, 21 or something, and he had like a ridiculous amount of shoes, and his collection was like $200 per pair and up. And my father just told the kid, he says, listen, You in here working with me, talking about what you want to be, but you spent your whole tuition on all them damn shoes. That's at least 2 to 3 years worth of tuition you spent on those shoes. So what's more important to you, your sneaker collection, or you becoming this? I guess I was like engineer. Like really, what's more important? You got an apartment with 200 pairs of overly priced sneakers, and the guy was like, he had never heard that, you know. I was like, that's bad spending, bro. Like really bad spending. You know, he's like, you're in an apartment with hundreds of pairs of expensive sneakers, working a job you don't like, wanting to be something you're not actively trying to be. You can't. But that was at a time you could still kind of sell sneakers, you know, sell on the buyback market because there's so many sneakerheads out here. But I don't think the kid ever sold the sneakers to pay his tuition to go back to college, you know. So to me, that's bad spending, and that was a spending habits that I taught. You know, the consumerism of shopping for clothes. Like, I don't understand that a lot of us go broke shopping because we want to look fashionable. But the problem with that is, what's the problem with a bargain? Like, seriously. Like, oh, I bought this when it first came out and it was overpriced. Man, you could have waited a year and got that at Marshalls for a quarter of the price. Why would you go buy that? Why? Because I just wanted to be fresher than everybody. What is that getting you? Like, I remember dating this. Well, I won't consider it dating. I remember I was in college, and I was working, going to school, trying to play sports, and I was at a vendor. I was on the campus. I had some jogging pants on, t-shirt, you know, baseball cap, you know, and my books, my notebooks at the time. And female friend of mine was just, she was leather jacket and expensive shirt and jewelry, you know, expensive jeans, nice heels, expensive purse, expensive wallet, and she was asking me for money. And I looked at her, I was like, how much is all this outfit you got on? She ran off like a ridiculous amount, you know, because the outfit might have been 300 together and the purse might have been, you know, another 2 to 300. I'm like, and the jewelry was, you know, so she had like $1,500 worth of shit on at the end of the day, right? And I was sitting there, I said, you got $1,500 worth of shit on and you ain't got a dollar, and but you know to come to me for some money for the vending machine. Don't you think that's ridiculous? You look like you look like 1,000 there, but you're broke. That don't make no sense. And that's the mentality that's part of the bad black spending. Um, I seen a brother this morning talking about people getting taken off of Section 8, and that's another problem, right? Where those people on Section 8 spending habits have been so bad for years, they've been getting, you know, subsidies their whole for years, and they're comfortable. You know, they don't know what paying rent's like. So guess what? They're blowing their rent money doing dumb stuff. You know, so now they're going to be faced with actually living like an adult. They're already broke because of their bad, because they don't save while they're actually broke enough to afford Section 8 and get all these subsidies with child support and other government benefits included. So what you think is about to happen for real? You know, bad spending. Same thing that goes into food, right? Food consumption. See people who are who have a need for killing themselves with their food choices. Like, do you really need all of that? Like, do you really need a 24 pack of Coca-Cola when this shit not good for you? Because eventually it's gonna kill your health. So you paying ridiculous amounts of money to basically kill yourself later to pay medical bills because you basically spent your way into unhealthy. And then you're paying for medications because you can't change the way that you spend on food and the type of food you consume, and you have to have all this junk in your body and in your life. Brothers, we do the same thing, right? Do you actually have to stunt to get attention? I mean, when people are talking about game, they do have a point when they talk about your mouthpiece and being able to talk to people. I mean, it would save you a lot of time and trouble to actually just sit down. You don't have to run game on somebody, but be able to talk to people to gauge where they're at to see if you even want them in your life or not. But instead, people are spending money out here as as a as bait to trap people into relationships, and you wind up trapping yourself because you baited your prey, but you didn't realize that you didn't want your prey, and your prey wind up baiting you into paying for their lifestyle. So who's really the predator and who's really the prey? Um, this, moving a little bit forward, the bad spending on our children. I want to get this kid everything that I've never had. Give the kid everything that I've never had, and now you invested in giving them stuff, and now they don't have a work ethic as a teenager or as an adult. So you basically invested in them being lazy. So all of that was a waste. And some of you unfortunately don't realize because some of your kids are about to be of age where they might wind up going into they don't go to college because of all of your bad spending as a parent because now you can't afford it and they can't afford it or they trying to look out a way out and they're going to the military and now you're sending them into the military on the precipice of war with your bad spending habits, we gave them bad habits, and those bad habits might mess around and get them killed on the battlefield because they think anything goes. You know, truth be told, that's some of the root why a lot of these young soldiers wind up getting killed because they're not accustomed to taking orders, they're not accustomed to the structure, they're not accustomed to discipline, and they're accustomed to thinking they can do whatever, and somebody's going to be there to bail them out, and they take that mentality to war and wind up getting their heads blown off. So some people learn faster than others, but that's what it actually takes from other people to learn. And actually, that's what it takes for some people to learn that it can happen to them. They have to see somebody actually get killed near them or in front of them, or because of that mentality, say, "Oh, I was thinking just like that, and I ain't gonna do that no more." You know. Um, so I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get out of here on that note. Yeah.